and Google and YouTube together, it would be the greatest gift that I could give to an industry that has let me live the way I live. My kids went to college on Sucker MC. Think about that. I live incredible life. And, you know, most people live incredible lives. They're finance, we work for a bank or a lawyer, I'm living an incredible life because it's my thing. I mean, come on. You know, I go to a country club, I'm playing golf, and I'm playing with a bunch of finance people. You know, I work for JP Morgan, I work for Merrill Lynch, I work for, Citibank. What do? Yeah, how'd you get here? I said, Sucker MC. And they're like, wow, brass monkey. So...
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the disconnect between YouTube and the labels think the payouts are too low.
So here's the situation. So when the most media businesses that are mature, it's a combination between subscription and advertising. Okay? We are at this point, we thought we were solving the most complex problem, and that is to on-demand viewership on their...
Okay, that's the clip I wanted. All right, Shalom. All praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth. I just got a little piece of the Leo Cohen interview with the Breakfast Club. I didn't get the whole thing. I'll probably, chop up another clip, put it up later on the main camp channel, GMS Lines of St. Louis. But basically, man, you listen to that whole interview and you hear him talk about one thing he says is my culture, which, he is a part of the hip hop culture because hip hop is something that was created by Israelites, black. A lot of them are Native American, because a lot of our people, a lot of Native Americans, they were trapped on the reses, and so they left. And in order for them to get certain rights and certain things, they just filled out that they were black when they moved on to a new location. And so, them being black, they could kind of move in silence. They could kind of, preserve their families and all of that stuff too. So they found shelter with us. Or a lot of them became Mexican. You got a lot of Native American mixed with a lot of Mexican people too. You go down to Mexico, you're gonna see a lot of Native American people who fled to get away from Esau. So, but going back to hip hop, of course, everybody knows the history on hip hop. It was created by black, Native American, Latino men. What can you say, man? It's the style of music that we created to adapt to urban environments and the daily struggle and all that, just like our people have always done, being the Israelites. And that's written in the Bible. Hey, here you go, Deuteronomy 28 and 48, because music is special. Music is spiritual. You make music out of your spirit. And all people like him, which Leo Cohen, he's an Edomite, and of the nation of Edom, he would be from the tribe of Amalek. Amalek is the chief house of Edom. Just like here in America, who's the chief house? Who's the top people? Top families of what? Jews, so-called Jews. Because what they did, they converted to our way of life. They combined it with, the different occultic shit that they were into, and now you have Judaism. Once again, they're culture vultures. They took over us, and they took over our traditions and our customs, and they've kept them to this day, including the Bible. And a lot of them, him probably included, he's an Israel. A lot of them, him probably included, they know that we are the real Israelites. Excuse me, slip of the tongue. And just like he said earlier in the interview, he used to go down to the hood, go down to the basketball game or whatever. He'd always see the band. So then he used to talent search in our community to see, you know, who the top people were, who the top rappers were, or whoever. You know, he get them on stage, give him a couple dollars or whatever. Meanwhile, he's making all this money. I got Esau scoping me out right now. That's okay. We're gonna continue on, cause fuck you, devils. Deuteronomy 28:48. This is part of our curses, though, being under people like him, dry ass Edomite. You know, no soul to him. It's a reason why most of his artists, once again, is us, Black, Native American, and Latino people. Because that's when it was in hip hop. You know, Cardi B, French Montana. You got Latino people there too, of course, because they're Israelites. They have that spirit. Now, as far as Jewish Jewish artists, I don't think he has any. You know, the guy he was talking about, Rick Rubin, he's a Jew, but he's like an engineer or some shit. But you know, he doesn't make any music. He don't make it like Jake. But jumping to the scriptures, though, excuse me for talking too much. Deuteronomy 28:48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Yep, and that's what happened. You shall serve your enemies, and the Lord shall send against you in hunger and thirst and in nakedness. You know, nakedness really is talk about you know, you don't have your garments. Your garments represent the scriptures. They represent the law. They represent all that. They represent the law, statutes, and commandments. Is your garments. That's what you put upon yourself. That cloak. Excuse me. Yeah, the law, statutes, commandments. That's that cloak that's on you. That's why Adam and Eve, when they were in the garden, they said, "Look, they realized that they were naked. The Lord took that covering off of them. You know, he took that away from them, and they knew that they weren't physically actually naked, though. It's a metaphor. And so, like I said, man, of course, we know about the yoke of iron that was placed upon our neck, the enslavement. We know that we served our enemies, including him, and we're still serving them now. You know, and now we're not slaves on the farm slaves, but we're debt slaves. We're slaves to debt. That's why you have a birth certificate, you have a social security card, you have all this identification for them to know exactly who you are so they can get that money out of you. You're a slave. And if you want to break away from that system, if you want to refuse to pay taxes and do all that shit, they're going to send you to prison. They're going to fine you and send you to jail. You're a slave. You don't get to make your own rules. And guess what? We keep calling ourselves Israelites. We got to tiptoe when we go out into this world. Scriptures say what? Be wise as a serpent. You know, we call ourselves Israelites. Our spirit gravitates towards the Bible, and us being Israelites, we can't even say that we're Israelites in a public place, you know, like a job or something. We gotta go with the flow. Oh, I'm black. Black is a byword that was created by Esau. African American, that's a byword that was created by Esau. But none of our history, none of the things that we can actually prove, because we can actually prove the Jews were all through Africa. We can actually prove that through documentation. We can actually prove that we were Hebrews. We can actually prove that Native American and Latino people are Hebrews. We can prove all of that. You know, but that we don't get any light or shine on that. So that's a slave. You can't have people call you what you really are. You're a slave. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. There you go. So that's what happened. And even more coincidental, America's the eagle. Even though that's talking about a swift nation, but you know, America is the eagle. It's twofold. Psalm 71:7, I am as a wonder unto many, but thou art my strong refuge. Let my mouth be filled with thy praise and with thy honor all the day. Yeah, we're supposed to be filling our mouth with praise for our Father, which is Yahweh, and his son, Yahweh Shai. We're supposed to fill our mouths with that praise, because it's him that's bringing us back. It's putting that flesh back on us. That's putting that cloak back over us, pursuing the Ezekiel 37. Cast me not off in the time of old age. Forsake me not when my strength faileth. Yeah, because right now, Israel, our strength is failing. We're weak. Enemy can come in and kill us down. Physically, some of us might be stronger than others, but as a nation, we're weak. And that's what really counts, what really matters. It don't matter about, a couple people here, left or right. As a nation, we're weak. For mine enemies speak against me, and they lay wait for my soul, take counsel together. And that's exactly what this guy did. He got all these people, they're artists. They weren't making that much money or whatever. They took them, maybe gave them a little money, gave them a little bit of, the different poisons of life that these Jews are familiar with, gave them the women, the drugs or whatever they could use to get them to make money. They had the so-called Jewish priests, these Talmud priests, these people who believe in the Talmud, which that's occultic, and they pray over these different records. That information was let out by what's this guy's name? Hold on one second. John Todd. John Todd has a video on YouTube where he talks about the different inner workings of the music business and a lot of other businesses too. But in the music business, you have a lot of witches, like this guy, a lot of lower level Luciferians, him, Rick Rubin, and then they influence and they mentor Israelites who come in. Of course, they'll never get to that same level, but they do mentor them. He mentored Jay-Z, he mentored Dame Dash and all these different guys. And, and then when they made that music, they used that magic or whatever. It was always destructive, self-destructive for them, for their own people. Dame Dash, Rockefeller, that shit broke up eventually. All of the shit, eventually it falls apart, it breaks up. But if you notice these people, they always stay together. They're always solid, they're always on one accord. Us, we break up, we break apart. We go our separate ways. We're scattered about because we're in the land of our enemies and we're scattered. That's why we say no matter how much money you make, they can still destroy you. And that means what? We're destroyed as a people. We don't have a pillar to stand on. We don't have an energy division or any of that stuff, a private military. We don't have that stuff. And like I said, they that lay wait for my soul, and that's what these people did, specifically in the music business, and really in all business, but I'm just using the music industry because we have Leo Cohen in the interview. And then he robbed the shit out of a lot of these people, him and all these Jews in the industry. Saying, verse 11, saying, God had forsaken him, persecute and take him, for there is none to deliver him. Yet they knew we were cut off from our power. They saw our heathenistic customs. They knew we were cut off. They knew we didn't have, we didn't call upon our power that had always given us power. And so they knew they could destroy us. Oh God, be not far from me. Oh my God, make haste for my help. There you go. And that's what we're praying, man. We're praying for the Lord, the Most High, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, which is Yahweh in the name of Yahushua in the Hebrew. Make haste for my help. Meaning what? Hurry up. I need help. Hurry up, Father. Let them be confounded and consumed that are adversaries to my soul. Let them be covered with reproach, honor that seek my hurt. There you go. But I will hope continually and will yet praise thee more and more. And there you go, man. We hope continually, and we're still praising the Father, and we're waiting on him because we know, according to his prophets, we know this place is going to be destroyed eventually. And the thing is about being of the hopeful elect, because just because you're an Israelite, that doesn't mean you're going to be saved from the destruction of America. That doesn't mean that. Just because you're, in my particular Israelite group, which is the top group on the planet, Great Millstone, that doesn't mean you're going to be saved necessarily. So it's with a hopeful elect, many are called, few are chosen. course, you know, I hope I get out of here and I witness the destruction of this place and see this man go down. And then, of course, we had a kingdom of heaven, which is that's for the Israelites to rule, because you know these people are already ruling now. They rule the world. They run everything. Why would the kingdom of heaven be for them too? You know, they're not weak. The scriptures say what? The first shall be last and the last shall be first. So you got to put two and two together and see that. And, you know, see who's on the bottom. See the formula. God always, in the Bible, he always deals with the low person. You know, of course, we had kings too, but he always deals with the low, humble men who follow his orders, follow the things that they were supposed to do according to him. Hey, so I want to say shalom. You know, if you're looking, you're searching, you know, look no further. This is the truth. Keep watching videos, look up videos, go into the scriptures. The time is short. You know, shalom to the sincere brothers out there and you sisters too watching. Shalom.